Let's say you have your regular thoughts here on like, what am I gonna eat, where am I gonna go, whatever. And then in the back of your head, you start listening to this such a gentle, almost like a whisper, that you start realizing that it's not yours. It's not your regular mind. It's just like the passing clouds, like all the nonsense of day to day. And then that little voice is so soft yet that it's so easy to forget that it's even there, you know? So it's almost like training yourself of this like very nice, warm, gentle feeling that there's something speaking. And that is your intuitive voice. That is the psyche, that is Anima Mundi's voice, the soul of the world. So there's a reciprocity there, there's a hidden language of plants that you can tap into, and anybody can. It's just a matter of listening. Hi, my name is Adriana Ayales. I'm the founder and herbalist of Anima Mundi Herbals. We're a Brooklyn-based apothecary where we create the whole farm-to-pharmacy experience, creating medicines from actually amazingly sourced botanicals from different parts of the world. We primarily source from the rainforest, which is where I'm from, Costa Rica, where we want to support indigenous agriculture and amazing wild-crafted medicines as much as possible. I try to forage at least once a month. Now that being a mom is very, it's very complicated to get my own time. But I used to love to forage just basically all the time. Like, basically, the Costa Rica, you go outside and there's so many places you can go and harvest. You know, it's everywhere.
Here we have hoja de aire, one of my absolute favorites amongst many Latin Americans too. This is an incredible jungle, basically the jungle version of an aloe. Used for the same kinds of things, the juice of the leaf. They call it hierba bruja or la liberadora because it provides us that liberating feeling from pain and wounding. So used as an alternative and also for pain relief and swelling.
So we live in a beautiful community right outside San Jose in a town called San Mateo. The R&D, I do it in my own kitchen. Basically, when you have your own tools and the different powders and the different fresh ingredients, and you can kind of just concoct and smell and feel and test. So yeah, from our own kitchen.
This is one of my absolute favorites. I mean, everybody's. Cinnamon, real cinnamon. This beautiful, delicious, spicy bark that we all love, and most of our, from cacao, mocha, to any kind of baking. This is an amazing tree for blood sugar regulation again. So from hypoglycemia to actual diabetes.
Nature really has a medicine for everything. Truly, it's like not a cliche, you know, it really is that way. Like even modern illnesses, they even believe that plants are coming out to this day, newer ones, to treat the modern day illnesses. As if they're sprouting out of nowhere, undiscovered yet, as plants that, let's say, treat a certain kind of cancer or a modern disease. So Anima Mundi means the world soul as a word for word meaning, but it's also taps into the soul of nature. So basically in Latin, mundi can mean nature and world in one. So it's basically the soul, anima, the animating force of nature. So I do this one for uterus health, basically all the time. So right now we're working with like 140 plants. Like basically what our apothecary has is all these different plants, all these different herbs that go into different formulas. So obviously sourcing is huge because there's a lot of like mass production on plants that are supposed to be very sacred in nature. Basically the 140 are the herbs that I really, really love, you know, that I would keep on like, let's say if somebody wants to have a huge pantry, these are the 140 herbs I would say your pantry needs to basically tackle most of every potential, you know, kind of dysfunction or unbalance or sickness. So we have like different parts from like, you know, Chinese herbs but grown outside of China because we want to basically help source on a higher level. Same with Indian herbs that are super pure, South American herbs, Central American herbs, and so on and so forth. Our beloved lion's mane. Yes, this is a mushroom that's also fantastic to repair your neural growth hormone within your brain. When I was young, I would have really intense dreams and visions with, I guess, otherworldly, I don't even know what to call it, spirits. So my grandmother started teaching me like spirit meditations, and we would basically talk to spirits when they would be present in the room or in like house clearings and such like that and on. It's a big subject, but she basically taught me how to tune into those worlds. And so I started seeing myself and I started seeing what I'm supposed to be doing, which is healing with herbs. And I really realized that this is just something I'm meant to do, whether I like it or not. It's like a mission that chooses you. The way I choose it is basically on like how I like how it's worked on me and on others. So like for example, when I was helping out at clinics, free clinics and herbal clinics, we basically work with a certain inventory of plants. And when you see that herb working with someone or with you on a certain level, it's incredible what you start seeing. So you kind of create that relationship and bond based on the results you've seen that it does. And we basically let it macerate for another 30 days. Like when it comes to somebody's healing, I'm like, okay, where is this person from? What kind of plants grew around them and around their ancestors? And you're really tapping into this like holistic, I guess, healthcare that you're tapping into where their bloodline comes from, therefore what that bloodline might need, and therefore what that healing might entail, you know, on a multi-generational level.
And it works.
And it works. It really works. It smells good. It smells like a mushroom soup. By cooking it, you basically break the cell walls of the mushroom. So if you break the cell walls, you basically are enabling a more powerful medicine. But I love seeing people change while taking medicine. It's unbelievable. I used to work with cancer patients, for example, in California, and seeing them go from not believing that anything's going to work anymore and giving up to totally seeing their life transform based on the decisions they made. Not that anybody was healing them and telling them. They made the decision to take the herbal medicine and as well as other practices and see themselves heal is unbelievable. Everything's possible and it's really up in your mind. If you're able to change in your mind in order to receive the change is huge. Most popular right now is definitely the collagen, our beauty elixirs, our detoxification products like the liver detox and the chanca piedra, which is another amazing wild crafted herb from the Amazon. They call it like the stone breaker. So it dissolves stones from accumulating, which is basically preventing calcification within the liver, gallbladder, and kidneys. We also have like our dream elixir and our mushrooms. Euphoric blends to like our happiness tonic is super popular, you know, because it's needed in these times, obviously, and always. So that's basically my job here, being the R&Ding, you know, creating all the different fun recipes that are coming. So right now I want to work with mothers and kids. So I'm launching a new line for kids. Well, right now, compared to how when we started, we are basically selling in many areas of the world, mostly the US, some in Europe, and a couple in the Middle East. We're expanding more and more each year. Like just from last year, we duplicated, I think, sales pretty intensively. Yeah, by doing, you really learn yourself and what you're drinking and the energetics of it. Some people are like, if I take this herb, how long is it going to take for it actually to show effects? You know, I'm like, you can't, that's not determined, it's not predetermined. It's not like, you know, Brazilian ginseng says 2 weeks and you're gonna get, you know, your perfect results. So you have to give it time, the right diet, and learn it, and the ability to like be receptive to it, to see if it's like your cup of tea.